What's good, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of the Listen Doctor podcast. And I am your host, the Listen Doctor. You guys see the title, man. Another fucking school shooting. And this is crazy. Um, we've been seeing a lot of school shootings. It's like it's a part of our lives. It's like just putting on your pants and going to work. It's like a part of your life now, and it shouldn't be. It really should not be a part of our lives. And as a survivor of a school shooting, I was part of a school shooting that took place in New Orleans when I was in elementary school. As a person who was involved in that type of incident, it is very scary for the parent, it's very scary for the student, it's very scary for the teachers and the faculty around the whole school because you just not know. The knowing of not knowing is the most important factor that's scary because you don't know if it's your son who was the school shooter or your child who was a school shooter, or you don't know if your child was the one who was shot or killed. It's just so very, very nerve wracking. And before we start this program off today, I want to just say rest in peace to the victims who were taken too soon from this school shooting. But you know how we like to do it over here at the channel. We like to ask you guys, why is it? What happened? We ask all those questions. Yeah, the school shooter did take a gun to school and shoot people and kill people and everything like that. But we like to get to the psyche of what actually made him do this. A lot of people that I do watch, they don't talk about that. They don't ask the question, why did he? That's what we do over here. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into some of these news stories that came out. And then after we look at it, we'll go ahead and give you guys our rest our thoughts. But rest in peace, most importantly, to the victims. Let's go. We're going to start with this one.
I want to bring in our producer, Amber Milner, right now because while I have been on the air, Amber's been able to find some more information for us, including something really important that you said just came across from Madison PD.
Yes, so Madison police literally just less than 60 seconds ago posting on Facebook that the 5 dead was erroneously shared with the media. It is still 3 people killed here. Very important. So 3 killed, including the shooter. They are still saying that 9 in total hurt. That includes the 3 dead. So currently 3 dead, 6 more hurt in this school shooting.
Really important. As these, even from officials sometimes, this information there's just so much going on right now that it can get crossed, but that's really important to point out. Thank you. So we expect another news conference, as you just heard, here in just a couple of hours, and we'll be bringing that live to you. We know that our Rob Olson is also well on the way to Madison. He's probably very close to being there, and will bring us as much as he can when he arrives. But again, the update here is 3 dead and 6 hurt in this school shooting at Abundant Life Christian School in Madison. It is a K through 12 school with about 335 students, I'm seeing here on the website. The Milwaukee Journal Sentinel is reporting that it shares a campus with a learning center that has a program for infants through 4-year-olds, as well as a non-denominational city church. So those are what's sort of encompassed in that area, and you're showing the school right now.
This is actually a look at where the school is here on Google Maps. So you can see, church over here in this corner of the parking lot. In the main campus over in this area. Where we were getting the video from, Amy, approximately over here, just to the west of where the school is. This is on the west side of Madison, for those that are familiar with the area, almost Cottage Grove territory, just on the west side of I-90 if you're headed south through the Madison area, between I-90 and Lake Monona. So far from the heart of downtown Madison, but still quite a busy suburban area over in this part of the city.
The chief really had some very powerful things to say, and you could see he clearly shaken in all of this because, he said it, you don't expect this kind of thing to happen. Fortunately, they had been training quarterly because, unfortunately, this is something we are seeing more often than we should be seeing, frankly. And once is too many, and we're seeing it a lot. So go
Amy,
ahead.
we actually have sound from a parent of a student at that school. So if you're able to, Leo, can we take that's on
Let's
page
take that.
7?
Thank you.
It's something that you pray. I mean, I pray with my kids every morning that this won't happen, and it's the world like that we live in, and but God is good, God is gracious, and my kids are safe, my family's safe.
It's very, very difficult. As this was happening, law enforcement, as we were reporting it for the first time, law enforcement not even able to tell us in that noon hour, even going into the 1 o'clock hour, what the mix of adults and juveniles as far as the victims go, because they were still notifying these families, and families were still arriving there to try to get connected. They had a reunification center, as you may have heard in that news conference, for these families to come together and be reunited. Terrifying for anyone. And this is a small private Christian school, Abundant Life Christian School. I misspoke, a Christian school. It's on Buckeye Road. Again, this happened just around 11. The safety alert went out to people's phones at about 11:20 this morning. There was a neighbor who reportedly told WMTV 15 that she actually heard gunshots. We don't know anything about the suspected shooter, other than the police chief does believe that it is a student. Again, this is a K through 12 school, so we don't know an age, a gender of this shooter. But this
we do actually have more sound from another man who was at the scene as well. I'm not exactly sure what he witnessed, but reporters were able to speak with somebody who was at the school.
Yeah, let's play that, please.
For the kids that are still alive and shot, for their best outcome. I mean, the tragedy of all what the other kids have seen, the kids saw this and heard this. I mean, right before Christmas, how tough is that to live? And the parents, where are my kids? Maybe they still don't know if their kid has survived. How tragic can that be? I feel for the, I mean, if that were my kids, it would be hard. I can't think of anything harder.
Yeah, and the police chief also reiterating that in his comments, saying that not only are we so close to Christmas, but everyone in that building is a victim, and beyond that, everyone in that community is a victim to some extent as well.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was a news story on that. Now we're going to actually get to the news story with the police chief actually talking about what actually happened out there. And like I said, man, this is really, really tough being a survivor of a school shooting. I was very young when it happened. But I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana. I have seen shootings right in front of me. I have seen people get shot and went right back to playing basketball. Like, it was nothing for us as kids to see that in New Orleans. And, they always say product of your environment. I have not been, as an adult, I haven't put myself around that to see that. I haven't put myself around that to witness all those things that was going on in my neighborhood. But I have experienced it. And I would be sitting up here not telling you wrong if I didn't experience that. And as a kid, it's very tough. And when that happened at our school, at our elementary, we did not know what the hell happened. We heard prior to it, days before it happened, that people were saying that could have happened on the last day of school or was going to happen. We did hear that when I was at school when it happened. But you will always know, because people would talk, and you would just not go to school that day that it happened. So for that to happen, like a couple of weeks before Christmas, a week before Christmas, it's crazy, man. These kids man, I feel for the kids. I feel for the parents. I feel for everybody in that community. And they said it was a Christian church school, so that's even more crazy. Let's go to the next news story, and then we'll give you guys the rest of my thoughts, man. Sorry for the victims, bro. That's not mutinous. That's the camera. I guess is when the guy come into frame is gonna start. But that's them mutinous, not me.
When officers arrived, they found multiple victims suffering from gunshot wounds. We train on this almost quarterly. The last time we trained on this as commanders was approximately 2 weeks ago. The protocols are simple: stop the killing, stop the dying, find out who's doing this. And the officers did that, and they did that adamantly. We had officers from around the county and around the state that came in support of this particular incident. Officers located a juvenile who they believe was responsible for this deceased in the building. Additionally, the officers began administering life-saving efforts to anyone who was wounded and making sure that those persons were transported. What we know is that a total of about 7 persons were transported from this scene to area hospitals for treatment. We know that at least 3 people have lost their lives, including a juvenile person. I don't have any other information about those persons who have lost their lives, and I'm not going to release that until we have, of course, spoken with family members and ensuring that they are fully aware of this tragic, tragic scene that occurred today. I want to thank all of the law enforcement partners and community members that came out to help, our friends at the ATF. I've gotten calls from my friends at the FBI, the State Patrol, the Sheriff's Office, Monona Police Department, our fire department. It goes on and on and on. Because this is something that we all prepare for, but we hope we never have to do. As you can see, we have a unification center that was immediately set up where parents and guardians and loved ones and grandparents wanted to get information about their loved ones, and we wanted to make sure that they were unified immediately. So we were doing more than one thing at one time. We're still going through methodically clearing that school, clearing every vehicle, and making certain that there's no other threats to this community, which we believe there are none. We immediately alerted our mayor's office, and I've been on the phone with her and her office constantly. We also alerted Madison schools. We put the schools on lockdown, but there's no threats to MMSD schools at this time. But we wanted to make sure that we did our due diligence in this particular case. Again, we're still going through collecting evidence, collecting information, making sure that our community is safe from what is a sad day for our community and for our country. And we have to do a little bit better. I don't have all the answers that you want right now, but I will tell you this: we have some of the best officers in the entire country. Our detectives are amazing. We're going to go and work hard and go through this scene so that we can piece together what exactly happened. Again, there'll be another briefing in about 2 hours, and if I have additional information, I will certainly let you know what that information is. Again, around 10:57 a.m., officers responded to an active shooter. They responded per our protocol. They found the person who they believe was responsible, who was down, deceased. We know that it's juvenile. We know that there are other persons who have lost their lives. We know that we've transported about 7 people after giving them life-saving measures. It's important to notice, too, that about 3 miles from here is our training center. Today, our special event team medics were in training. And so they got to practice in real time. They left the training center immediately and came down here and doing in real time what they were actually practicing for. And that's why training is so important, and making sure that we can provide the best possible training and the best possible response for our community members. I'm asking everyone to send your heartfelt wishes and prayers and thoughts yet again to a community, but this time it's my community. Dylan?
Yeah, who can we start over here with questions?
Chief, you mentioned you're a father, you're the police chief here in Madison. What emotions are you feeling right now after going through all that?
To be honest with you, I'm feeling a little dismayed now. So close to Christmas. Every child, every person in that building is a victim and will be a victim forever. And these types of trauma don't just go away. And we need to figure out and try to piece together what exactly happening. And right now, my heart is heavy for my community. My heart is heavy for Madison, and we have to come together as a community and figure out what happened here and make sure that it doesn't happen in any other place that should be a refuge for students in our community.
Right there.
What sort of gun-related policies, if any, were in place at the school, and did the school have metal detectors?
I'm not aware that the school had metal detectors, nor should schools have metal detectors. It's a school, it's a safe space. So I don't know. Again, it is a private Christian school. It is not under the authority of MMSDs, and that is something that we would have to look into.
Chief, of the 7 victims, how many are students? How many are teachers?
I'm not going to give any information about who the victims are, whether they're students, staff, or parents, because we need to make sure that we can notify people. I think that's the most important thing before we go any further.
But police they never fired their weapons.
That is correct. I don't know if it's a male or a female, but the police department did not fire their weapons. Thank you.
Scott, are there 3 fatalities you mentioned, including the suspected shooter?
That's correct. Yes, sir.
3 total.
That's correct.
Are the 7 that was transported, are the 3 fatalities within that 7 or addition to that?
Yes, within that 7. Yes, thank you.
Was the shooter a student at the school?
We believe the shooter was a student at the school. Yes.
What can you tell us about the status of the other transports?
We know that they range from minor injuries to life-threatening. I know that's a huge, spectrum, but that's what we know now. And so we need everyone, again, to send your thoughts and your prayers out to them. One thing I do know is that we have some of the best medical care in the country here in Madison. And so we hope that everyone will recover, but at this time, we don't know.
So we did just get an update from our command post. 5 deceased at this time, 5 injured.
So a total of 10.
So a total of 10.
Again, this is a ever evolving situation. Just hearing that, what does that make you think? How does that make you feel? That we have to do a better job in our community on a Monday, right? So close to Christmas that we're updating victims. And so there's a lot of work that has to be done. And we're committed to doing that work. We just ask for your patience. I think the most important part is the reunification, again, that we spoke about, making sure that those persons who were in the schools, whether they're staff, students, or what have you, are reunified, and we have done that. Again, I want to say thank you to all our partners. Again, our friends are here from the ATF. They're going to help us. I heard the question about the gun. I don't know yet, which is why we have a great partnership with the ATF that will help us determine the origin of this gun and where it happened. So I'm going to leave it at that, and we will have another press conference. Stephanie has the location.
We're doing 2:30 at Fire Station 14 in their community room. 2:30, Fire Station 14.
Steph,
Okay.
can you confirm the 5 who are dead? Does that include the shooter?
That does include
It
the
would,
shooter.
Are the
yes,
victims
it would.
students, teachers, a mix?
Yeah, again, we're not going to talk about that until we notify all the families that may be involved. Again, this is an ever evolving situation, and we're trying to figure it out. What did you say, man?
Has the school been cleared? Are all the students out of
The school has been through a secondary clearing. We're doing another one now with the help of bomb dogs, just in case. We want to clear vehicles and things of that nature. So we're going to take our time, and we're going to go through, and we're going to do everything that we can. So thank you very much, and we'll see you soon.
Okay?
Thank you.
Fire Station 14 in the community room.
I see your notes.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you heard what they said, man. It's terrible. It's terrible. And he said he do not know if it was a female or a male who did the shooting. They don't want to give you who it is. I guess that's for protection for the child who did the shooting, because of course he or she is a minor, they said. But this is where we got to get serious about this conversation, because I heard people talking about it earlier when I first heard somebody was talking about it, that the parents should be locked up or the parents should be investigated and should be charged with that. Should be charged with this. I am all for that. I'm all for that. But I have 3 things to say about it. When you have a weapon in a household, because I have a family member who has weapons and she has children as well. And I hope she can watch this video and get to this part of the video to see what I'm about to say, because I cut it out for her as well. I want you to understand what I'm about to say. When you have guns or weapons in your household, it is up to you, the parent, to be protected. So you can protect your children by putting your weapons in a gun safe. If you cannot afford a gun safe, you should not have a gun. That's the first rule that my uncle, that was an Army veteran, taught me as a man, as a child. He said that if you have a weapon and you cannot afford a gun safe, you should not have a weapon in your house. Put it somewhere else. Give it to a friend. Give it to a loved one to hold who has a gun safe. You should, who don't have children, you should not keep a gun in your house without having a gun safe. Why? Because of this reason right here. You have children who are getting bullied at school, can go to school, find your gun in the house, go to school, and cause a school shooting that took place today. That's been taking place around the world for years now in the U.S. And it's crazy to me that all this stuff keep happening and we just go by our life. We just go by our business. This is why I stress to my little sister about it, because I want you to understand you got little ones. And I'm not saying she don't have a gun safe. I'm not saying she don't have it protected. But I'm just saying, this is why I tell you when I talk to you the shit that I tell you, because it's out of love. Because what I would hate is for one of my little nephews or my niece to be getting bullied from school and they feel like the only way they can solve it is by taking their mom a weapon and going to school and doing a school shooting. Now you killing yourself and you killing other people. And you terrorizing your mama, because your mama going to get charged for it. She's going to get charged for it. In today's society that we live in, the parents are going to get charged for it. And all this could have been resolved by you just locking your gun up. I'm not saying the child who did the school shooting, who do other school shootings, wouldn't have been able to get another gun. Because we know in New Orleans, Louisiana, where I'm from, back then, it was a norm that you can just find a gun on the streets. I'm pretty sure it's like that still today. You could just find a gun on the street, walking down the street, and find a gun. Back then, the police departments used to throw them in the hoods. Yes, they did do that. That was a fact. Back then, the drug dealers who were running for people were chasing them or were selling drugs would just leave a gun in a corner outside in the grass, because they had to fucking be prepared in case they're around somewhere in the city. They had a dude named Joe Mike. Joe Mike used to randomly drop 50 to 100 guns around the city of New Orleans. Why? Because Joe Mike was always out lurking somewhere. He was always around something that he wasn't in his hood. So he would always, leave a gun where he knew where it was. So if he was on a corner, he knew he could get to that gun in a matter of seconds if somebody rolled up on him. Guess who you think looking for those guns? We ain't looking for them because we want to look for them. We playing football. The ball go that way. It hits a fucking object that's black. Hey, what is this? It's a gun. I pick it up. Boom, I shoot myself. I kill a friend because I'm playing with a gun that was left in the streets. Or I know where the guns are left at, and I'm getting in a fight with somebody at school, and he keep telling me he gonna beat me up or kill me worse. I go find a gun outside, and I bring it to school, and I kill somebody. Now I'm going to jail. Now my parent going to jail. It happens so much. And this is really, really unfortunate. I really feel for the kids. I feel for the parents. I feel for the loved ones. But for them to say that this was a Christian school, that's a problem for me. on multiple reasons why. I'm not going to say it, but use your brains, ladies and gentlemen. Use your brains of where I'm going. Christian school. The kid brought a gun to school. Now, for the sake of argument, we're going to wonder, why did he bring the gun to school? What was his intentions? Was a teacher abusing him? Was it a student bullying him? Was it a teacher bullying him? We don't know. We will never know because the young man who did the killing is dead. We don't know if he left video. We don't know if he left footage. We don't know if he left documents. We don't know. But the young man is dead, or the young person is dead, because they ain't say woman or male. The young person is dead. And the kids got to remain through the rest of the year thinking about this, having dreams about it. Because I'm not going to lie to you, I'm a fucking 35-year-old man, and I still have nightmares about that school shooting that I was in. And anybody that was in a school shooting would tell you, you don't get over that shit. You don't get over it. Like the young people, like she said on her report, you don't get over that. It stays with you for life. And as a person who survived that shit, it still fucks with me. And I ain't had nothing to do with the school shooting. It wasn't even about me. I was just there at the school. And it's crazy that yet again, it's happening again. It's very unfortunate, very unacceptable. Like my wife said in the comments, very unacceptable, very hard, just hardest. It's just hard to think that a kid or kids are going through so much in school that the only way they see fit is to get out of it, is to bring a gun to school and end it all. And I've been there with my depression of how I feel about myself or how I feel about certain situations. And I always thought, I'm not going to harm nobody else. I'll take my own life. I'm not going to lie. I have had that thought before. Many a times. I just had it a couple of days ago. My wife had to help me out with that. And it's nothing that she do. It just happens to me. It's been like that since I was a kid. I get depressed. And I always think about just taking my own life, but I never say I'm going to take somebody else's. Never. It never comes to my mind. So for a kid to feel like this and do it so many times, so often, that's a deeper problem that we need to figure out what's going on. And I'm so just thankful that my nieces and nephews haven't experienced this. And I don't have kids right now, but me and my wife are trying to have kids. And that's what scares me about having kids. Because my kids are going to be brought in this crazy ass world that we live in. And it's fucked up. It's very much fucked up. Thank you guys for watching the show, man. I didn't want to keep you guys long. But yet again, if you are new to the channel or you just came, we had another school shooting that took place in Madison. At Madison School, elementary school. And 3 people were killed, including one of the people being the shooter. And there's no other threats that the police said that's out there. They feel like they got the person who did it, or the person who did it was killed in the process. He killed himself, what they seem to believe. The police did not fire a shot, so the cops didn't kill him. It wasn't like suicide by cop. 2 other people were shot. They didn't say if it was a student or a teacher or a faculty. We don't know. But once those things come out, you guys will see it in the news. Anybody who watched the show, let me know so I can update my story on it and put it in the comments and let you guys know. But this is crazy, man, and I feel for everybody involved. Very, very hard to see, very, very hard to feel, and it takes something out of you when you watch this shit so many times, so often. It's like we don't even blink anymore, and it's sad. Thank you guys for watching the show. Appreciate it. And if you are new to the channel, please continue to hit that subscribe button. Do me a favor, go to the comments and subscribe to the channels down there as well. In the comments, you see our new Rumble. That's my new Rumble channel that I'm going to be putting all of my content for this day forward. Starting in a couple of days, we're going to be starting putting content over there at Rumble. My channel, then Didi and CC channel will be going to. This shit is about to start getting kicked off with Didi and CC as well. With the podcast side, we're going to be able to bring people up, bring people on, let people talk to us face to face, all that good shit. So if you want to go ahead and get a chance to do that, man, learn some of the things about what it takes to be a podcaster, what it takes to be a YouTuber and everything like that, what it takes to be a successful marriage and have a successful marriage. We're going to talk about all that shit, man. So please check us out, man. You do not want to miss that. You do not want to miss that opportunity. So go check out the channel, subscribe to the channel, let your loved ones know, your family and friends know. But this shit has to stop. It has to. This shit has to stop, man. And if you are a valued subscriber who's been rocking with me for a long time, thank you for your time. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your loyalty and just being rocking with me for so long. I know I put you through it a lot. I put you through a lot, y'all, these couple of years. And I really, really am grateful. Thank you guys. I'll check you guys out. Peace.